49ers update. Look at that. That's where they used to play. That's Kezar Stadium. Iconic at the corner of Golden Gate Park. I think the 49ers are going to make a play for Maxx Crosby. Jeremy Fowler just verified what I had said a couple days ago. And the 49ers always like to take these big swings. I mean, whether it be Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, they've made a lot of trades, and it does seem that Maxx Crosby will be traded from the Raiders. But the question is, what's the price going to be? And, I think there's a big worry that the Rams might be in better position to trade for Max because they've got 2 first-round draft picks in this 2026 NFL selection process, and the 49ers only have 1. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this being a trade cost that rivals the Micah Parsons deal. I don't know if the Raiders can fetch that much for Maxx Crosby, coming off of a knee surgery. I know he's going to be ready for the season, but it was a slightly down year for Max in 2025. He is 28. He still is in prime age, but boy, 2 first-round picks and a player that was Kenny Clark. That was the price for Micah Parsons. I don't know if this is going to be possible in that case. So we got to talk about what the cost is going to be. Let's take a look at Cole Valley now. Look forward over here. This is one of my favorite little hidden neighborhoods in San Francisco. We're going to go up over Buena Vista Park on this drive. As you can tell, we're avoiding, for the time being, the downtown area in San Francisco because it is just slammed right now. If you want to talk about Maxx Crosby or maxing out the Super Bowl week, we definitely have.
Girl Scout cookies.
Girl Scout cookies, nice. See, Cole Valley's hopping right now. A really, really good brunch spot is on the right past this van, the yellow awning you'll see right now, Zazie. Excellent, excellent brunch spot. I'm even sure that some Super Bowl visitors have found that because it's probably on enough guidebooks to get it done. But Cole Valley's cool. They've got a little Luke's Local, which is a grocery chain in San Francisco, and it's surrounded by hills on a couple sides, so it feels like you're kind of nestled in here. We've got a stroller crossing the road, so we got to wait. I got to be careful. All the neighborhoods are a little bit busier, but nothing is like downtown San Francisco right now, which is absolutely buzzing. And we have an event that we'll be headed to at Union Square a little bit later this afternoon, but we decided to get out of the craziness for a little bit as we're maxing out Super Bowl week. So can the 49ers max out this roster with Maxx Crosby, who would be a great edge rushing addition to Nick Bosa? I think that you can always make your defensive line stronger. Belvedere Street is sweet. Look at those trees, very nice. Yeah, that's one of the best trick-or-treating streets in San Francisco. Those of you who have kids and are looking not to get out of the city, but on a nice little family-friendly street, I would say that Belvedere Street definitely qualifies. All of these streets here in Cole Valley, I'm taking you through the parts of the city that you're probably not going to see all too much of during the Super Bowl broadcast tomorrow. But, if the Rams are willing to offer one of their first-round picks because they have 2, and if they're able to make their trade package stronger by virtue of the fact they have 2 first-round picks, it's going to be hard to outbid them. The question is, what is Maxx Crosby worth? And, from the 49ers perspective, would it be worth it to offer a first-round pick for Max? Consider the fact that he is under contract still. Got to make this turn. This is a risky one, guys. He is under contract through 2029. So it's 4 more seasons under contract for Maxx Crosby. And this year it's going to be $30 million guaranteed, which is quite a bit of money. But if he gives you vintage Maxx Crosby numbers, then I don't think that it's too much. It's called Clifford Terrace. Isn't that the dog's name? The big red dog, Clifford?
Yes, good job.
Yeah, so now we're and Maxx Crosby does have that dog in him. I mean, he is a guy that will work. He's got a great motor that would, I think, justify $30 million in the first year. After that, nothing is guaranteed. So you'd be able to cut bait after. But if you do sink a lot of draft capital into this, then obviously that is something where you'd want him to be on the team for a longer time than just one season. So it all comes down to who's willing to offer a first-round pick and who isn't. And if the 49ers aren't, nobody else is, what would be a fair trade compensation? Isn't this a cool street? I don't think I've actually been on this one. I think this is the end of, this area is called Ashbury Terrace in San Francisco. It's up against Buena Vista Park, where we're driving to right now, but above Coal Valley. And it does not, as you can see, does not have symmetrical streets. These are two-way streets, but if we run into another car, then like this van, he's ceding way to us, then we obviously have to find a way around. This is ahead of us is going to be another two-way street, but it's only wide enough to be a one-way street. This guy is getting impatient, so we're going to have to go. That's a Valentine's Day house. So what does Lombardi herself think about people that decorate for Valentine's Day?
I think it's cute if you want to do it inside your home. I think if you're decorating the outside of your home for Valentine's Day, you might have too much free time on your
She
hands.
says that if you decorate the outside of your, if you didn't catch that, then if you might have too much time on your hands. It's oh, nice. Look at the church over that direction. That's St. Ignatius, which is on the campus of the University of San Francisco. SFPD behind us. Shout out to them. They've been doing a great job all week. They've been out in full force this week and keeping everybody safe in downtown. Obviously, they don't have to be out in the same amount of numbers out here. So this is Buena Vista Park, which means Good View Park in Spanish, and it does have a good view, but we're at the base of it. You can hike up to the top, and what we're going to do is we're going to dive down here into DuBose Triangle and more of the inner city neighborhoods and get some cool views while we're at it as we get closer to that Super Bowl stuff. So 49ers, if you don't offer a first for Maxx Crosby, how about a second round pick in 2026 and a conditional pick in 2027? So say a third round pick that can turn into a second round pick if Crosby hits a certain amount of sacks. You know, I just don't think that this is a situation where you go 2 first round picks or maybe even 1 first round pick. I just don't think that this is comparable to Micah Parsons or to Khalil Mack back in 2018. This is going to be an epic little drive down the hill. Buena Vista Park has the nice steps, and the Waymo made it up. Take a look at this. The palm trees on the way down, and there's downtown San Francisco. This is new for Lombardi herself too. I've never taken her up here or down this road. It's more pleasant to drive down them than to try to climb up them. But we've officially moved from some of the more outer neighborhoods to DuBose Triangle and the inner neighborhoods. So I just think that this is a tier 1A trade or 1B trade. I think a tier 1A trade would have been something like Mack from the Raiders to the Bears in 2018 or Parsons from the Cowboys to the Packers. A 1B trade, it might require a first round pick, but it might not. And if that's the case, then the 49ers could be in decent position to make a true run at this. Now, the second part of all this is that Mark Davis, the last time that he did trade a very valuable edge rusher, and that's the Mack trade, Khalil Mack in 2018, he wasn't willing to deal with the 49ers. They offered more than the Bears, and that was a complicated trade. It was 2 1s heading to Chicago, but then there was some, I think like a 2 or a 3 came back, and then a 3 also went from the Raiders to Chicago. The bottom line is the 49ers offered a better package in terms of trade value than the Bears did, but Mark Davis said, screw the 49ers, I don't want to trade with them. That was when it was the Oakland Raiders. Do the 49ers and the Raiders have a different relationship now that it's the Las Vegas Raiders? They're out of the Bay Area. You can see Oakland out in the distance over there. You don't have to zoom in on Oakland. I don't think anybody wants that, but they're in Las Vegas now. Not on this channel, no. But anyway, like, you know, did that change things? Does Tom Brady, as part owner of the Raiders now, change things? Like, do they start dealing with the 49ers because Tom Brady's childhood team was the 49ers? I mean, he just made a movie about the 49ers. Shout out to Rise of the 49ers. That was a lot of fun. This is going to be Lombardi herself's chance to photograph some dogs, probably. This is the DuBose Park dog recreation area. It's not actually called a dog recreation area, but it is a dog park. And Yeah, there's some dogs there. They do have some of the grass fenced off right now because they're trying to keep it healthy during the wetter season.
They're all far away.
The dogs are all too far away. It's unfortunate. Okay. If you want to get a good,
There'll be some other dogs walking around.
we'll get some other. Talk louder into the mic.
I only like to show cute dogs.
That's a good cafe for people, the Beauce Park Cafe. If you just want to have a place near the... And it's really funny. This is hilarious. Look, it's a pet grooming van that people, I guess, just had delivered to them. Like,
What's mobile pet grooming?
yeah, mobile pet grooming comes to the dog park. Makes a whole lot of sense, right?
Trucks.
Now, the pet grooming van doesn't really know how to drive, is the issue here.
Oh, he's getting chewed out.
Is there a yelling match going on there?
I think so, yeah.
Well,
Drama.
get it on camera. Let's see what's going on. The people want the action.
The poor Waymo.
They want all the smoke. Yeah, the now, okay, so you got it. This is very San Francisco. Mobile pet grooming, dog park.
Parking, dad with a giant caravan.
And a robotic car. And then our car just trying to make it through. And a bike lane that is part of the road. Yeah, this is the Wiggle. So the people should know about the Wiggle. The Wiggle is a bike path in San Francisco that wiggles through different streets and wiggles around hills so that the cyclists that you see ahead of us don't have to bike up too steep of a hill. So as you can see moving forward, the hill gets steeper. All these cyclists are going to turn left. And just watch. They're going to turn left at this stop sign because the Wiggle moves to the left. There's even a sign right there that says the Wiggle above the stop sign. Can you zoom in on that? The Wiggle.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. And now watch all these people turn left. I'm going to predict it. See, I could see the future. I should have bet on it, but we don't gamble, so it's all good. We don't take gambling money on this channel. Yeah, no gambling here. But I would have won the bet, right? Great coffee shop, Cafe Rivet, really good. I mean, if you guys are still in town for, some people I think might actually have just come into town today if they didn't want the Super Bowl craziness. I don't blame you because it could get kind of wild. There might be people here through early next week. I mean, we were looking at flights to Nashville next week, and they're so expensive out of town.
$700.
Yeah, all the way till Thursday. So I'm guessing there are going to be some people here that want the quieter San Francisco, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is a really, really nice area to do that. And, Daniel Lurie, the mayor, made a video the other day. He was in North Beach, and he was like, I think this was a cool video to do. He said, make sure to come check out our neighborhoods. Everybody's downtown and it's fun and everything, but but North Beach is famous. We've done a lot of stuff from there. Also check out spots like this. We're gonna give you guys a full house treat here in
What neighborhood
a
is
little second. We moved from the Beauce Triangle to Lower Haight. Now we're gonna move up to Alamo Square, and you guys are getting San Francisco's is like the real world Disneyland, in that it's got 47 neighborhoods and 49 square miles. So if you ever don't like a neighborhood, then all you have to do is walk 5 minutes and you'll be in a different one. Now, there's a flip side to that. If you really like a neighborhood and you walk the wrong way for 5 minutes, you might end up somewhere that you don't want to be. So it's important to watch these videos. Look at that house. That's beautiful. See the detail there. Now, I'm not like a big architecture expert. I think it's Victorian. It's a fancy Victorian, maybe it's not. Maybe it's Edwardian. I think that's Edwardian for sure. That's not as fancy, but it's still nice.
So,
Yeah.
do you know where those terms come from?
Yeah, they come from the era of who was the monarch in England, right? So Victoria was before Edward.
So basically,
Yeah.
anything pre-1901 is Victorian.
Victorian, yeah.
And
then
Edwardian is like 1901 to 1910.
and the earthquake here in San Francisco that burned down a lot of the city happened in 1906.
So you probably lost more Victorians.
Yes, but both were already built at that time.
Styles, yeah.
All right, so I'm not going to do the standard Alamo Square route, but we will go. I should have actually turned left there to do it, but stuff happens. I didn't want to be that guy. We are going to go right in front of the Painted Ladies. Man, I really want to, though. I really want to give people the best that there is here. We're going to pull something good. Because I promised them a good full house shot. I don't think that we can miss this. I should have turned left on Fell and then loop down this way, but what we'll do is come up here and give people a little, U-turn because the park is popping off today. People are having a good time. The coffee truck, don't worry about showing it. There's cars in the way, but the coffee truck, I think it's like Falcon Coffee Company or something like that. Cool spot. They bring it into the park. All right, here we go. This is a risky maneuver, but I am doing this for the benefit of the city, so they'll give me a break. We made a U-turn right in the middle of the intersection, and look at this. It was worth it because now we can show you, those of you familiar with Full House and a lot of iconic, those are the Painted Ladies in San Francisco. Can make it nice and slow, and everybody's picnicking out in front of them. So you can tell the weather's better on the east side of the city because you get further away from the ocean. Really nice stuff. Really nice stuff. And now we'll go right in front of the Painted Ladies so you can see all of them. So,
and those are Victorians.
Those are Victorians. Yeah, the Painted Ladies are actually Victorians. If the 49ers add Maxx Crosby, it's interesting because I think that would help their defensive tackles. But where they really, really were statistically deficient last year in the pass rush was at defensive tackle. They only had 2.5 sacks from their interior pass rushers. But a pass rush works in cohesion. And if you had both Nick Bosa and Maxx Crosby, we're going to have to wait for a lot of pedestrians right now. But that's okay. We can just talk about Nick Bosa and Maxx Crosby. If you have both of those guys working off the edge, I mean, the amount of single teams in space that you would open up in the middle, you could probably make some pretty pedestrian interior rushers look really, really good if you're the 49ers, right? So there's no question that somebody like Crosby would really help this team. Here are the Painted Ladies from up close. Now, they didn't actually film full. People think they filmed it on these red steps. That they didn't. They filmed it up at 1709 Broderick. You could look that up on the internet. Where that other house is, but they have those steps kind of chained off so you can't actually sit on them because I'm sure some tourists were being rude. Obnoxious and rude. Yeah, so that's in a different spot, but not too far. And then everybody, a lot of people thought the Mrs. Doubtfire house was right here. Mrs. Doubtfire house is actually on this street, but like a mile or two north of here. So, but I do think that the 49ers have to figure out that interior pass rush equation. And Margot, when we hit this green light, make sure you look to the right because people will see City Hall straight down Fulton Street. It's a really nice view. I'll make it nice and slow. This is one of the cool, like you just turn one way and you get a good view. I always love seeing the dome that way. Gold, real gold on the dome. It used to be the state capital of California. Not anymore though. That moved to a place called Sacramento, where I'm sure a lot of you are watching right now. So either way, find a way to address the interior pass rush issue, whether it's by getting Crosby and letting C.J. West and Alfred Collins and Micah Williams blossom under those parameters because Crosby and Bosa are eating up all the blocks. That's one way to do it. You can go get somebody like John Franklin Myers, who would be a cheaper free agent, pick up. I mean, still somebody who commands some money, but I think he's an underrated player, so he wouldn't command.
I think those are Edwardian.
They might be. Yeah, don't quote me.
Like the windows are kind of more rectangular.
Those might be Edwardians. They're really nice. I mean, sometimes the difference between an Edwardian and the city flag of San Francisco is flying right there. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. You can't really see it that well, but it's a cool flag. I felt that the 49ers this year gave us rising from the ashes type of vibes when they were able to come back from all those injuries. So, I mean, yeah, somebody like John Franklin Myers would be a free agent pickup that directly can help the interior without making a massive splash on the exterior. You have to remember that Micah Williams, with Raheem Morris and the new defensive weaponry that the 49ers have at the top, like in the brain trust, if they're going to run some five-man fronts, out of the 3-3-5 that Raheem Morris has run in the past, you're going to be having defensive ends cover Micah Williams very, very frequently. And it's going to allow Michael to rush from the inside even more often. And that should help your defensive tackle pass rushing situation quite a bit if you're the 49ers. So it's all a big puzzle for San Francisco. Look, 49ers fan on the Vespa, wave to us. Very, very polite. Very polite young lady there on the Vespa with a nice 49ers logo. But, you have flexibility if you're San Francisco to attack this in several different ways. And I think at the end of the day, that is the blessing of having Raheem Morris as your defensive coordinator, because he's worked with several different personnel groupings over the course of his career, and different, whether it be the cover two with Monty Kiffin or Tony Dungy in Tampa Bay, or odd man Fangio, Brandon Staley type of front with the Rams, or hybrids, or working with Jeff Ulbrich, which was a hybrid-like setup in Atlanta, or working on the offensive side of the ball and seeing a bunch of different defenses. Raheem Morris is extremely adaptable. And adaptability is perfect for the 49ers entering an offseason where they have some capital to spend, either on the trade market or on the free agent market, because they've got like $57 million or whatever it is to spend as a football team on the salary cap to fill out this roster. So we'll see how they end up crossing the bridges that they need to cross, and there's not going to be a Golden Gate Bridge crossing in this video. That was a cool one. Remember when we did Driving with David over the Golden Gate Bridge, and we started there? That was kind of like one of the OG Driving with Davids coming back from Sausalito. So now we're about to pass Japantown.
It was over to the right.
Yeah, it's over to the right, but Post is the main kind of strip. I'm not going to turn down that way because Japantown is more about the indoor mall, and it's also about the plaza, which is under construction right now, so there's no reason to show people a bunch of scaffolding. But you can see the Salesforce Tower sticking out there in the distance. I could say it, the very phallic-looking Salesforce Tower.
You said it.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate-looking building, I think, but what are we going to do? Sweet Maple's one of the homes of Millionaire's Bacon. Margot loves. Look at that line.
Black Suburban in front of it too.
Yeah. So So speaking of black Escalades, black Suburbans, that has been a thing. Elliot's gonna love that. The Indiana Hoosiers flag. Our friend Elliot's an Indiana alum. Here's St. Dominic's Church / maybe is it cathedral or church?
It looks like a cathedral.
Yeah, it looks like a cathedral. Yeah. Oh, it says church.
Catholic church.
Very nice church. We're in Pack Heights now. I'm going to try to make this light so we're not waiting at Pine Street. Remember, guys, you can make it yellow counts. Like, this is totally legal. No hands through the light. But, so what were I talking about? Normally I'm better at these segues than right now.
We're talking about the black Suburbans.
Oh, yeah, the black Suburbans all around San Francisco. So many of it. It's like, where did all of these black cars come from? They had to bring them in from different cities. There's no way there were enough in San Francisco to take all these people around to the Super Bowl. And they always got the tinted windows, so you don't know who's in them. But they have this little orange sticker. Hopefully we'll start to see more and more as we get closer to the inner part of San Francisco. And what we'll do here is turn on California Street, and that's going to definitely give us a few black Suburbans, because we're going to go by Pack Heights and we'll go up Nob Hill and just down into North Beach and back home. But they got these little orange stickers in the bottom right, which basically gives them double parking, I think, exemption, or at least like a little wink effect from the parking enforcement and SFPD, so they can just show up to an event. So like when Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch rolled up to the George Kittle party the other day, they rolled up like 5 black SUVs deep, and they might have even had a police escort. When Tom Brady pulled up at his card shop yesterday over by the ballpark, there was like 6 or 7 SUVs that just pulled in, and they're blocking a whole lane of traffic, and it's obnoxious as hell. But it just makes
people honking.
Yeah, but you deal with it for a week, right? It's kind of cool. It gives it's the Super Bowl, so look at that one. That's a nice church. It gives a real energy to the city. That something big is happening, and I think that's what the Super Bowl is all about. It's about building the hype over the course of the week, and in a lot of ways, it's a celebration of the season that just happened. I mean, 30 of the 32 teams aren't playing anymore, but all 30 teams are represented by at least somebody here in town this week. It's like a gigantic convention. That Tom Brady thing was cool, Margot. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was very interesting.
It was like.
I just don't get really starstruck. Like I may get starstruck if I see like the Prince and Princess of Wales, but you know, I mean like all these other athletes, you know, they're people.
I think I'm gonna have to abort.
I think that's
California Street.
Oh no.
Well, I can't. The Newport Fish Company, or is it the fire department?
I think it's the fire department.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just backing in.
Okay, we can keep on going then.
But I think that's the Nashville in me. Is, you know, growing up in Nashville, you don't make a big deal if you see Carrie Underwood and Kroger. You leave her alone. You know, my mom has seen Keith Urban and Cracker Barrel back in the 90s, and they're people. They're just, you know, doing life.
Well, I think that Tom Brady is one of the biggest stars in the history of sports. So, and those were Patriots fans too.
Right,
there was a lot of Patriots fans. It just so happens that
rabid grown adults.
Yes.
Who I was very.
Shout out to the fire department, Engine 38, doing a great job. Fresno Fire Department.
Oh, nice. That's number 10.
It said
number 10.
No, the car said Fresno Fire.
Oh, well, that's cool.
I wonder if they have extra support in town for the Super Bowl,
there's somebody double parked.
Yeah.
Problem pig behavior.
Very problem behavior.
Be that person.
I'm just hoping that we get enough smooth traffic to show you guys a few black cars by the Fairmont. I think that would be a cool kind of last stretch of
drive by the Battery.
This video. Yeah, the 49ers HQ is the Battery. Don't try to get in because you won't. But it's that is not so secret at this point of the week anymore. Everybody's been around there, and that's over downtown, and it's been kind of cool because it's been a nice little base for the 49ers to go do their things. If you talk to Jed, if you talk to Al Guido, John and Kyle too, I've seen that they've been around town, but I mean, those guys are stacked with events this week. I mean, absolutely stacked with events. So I know that the mayor has been to hundreds of events. I don't know exactly how many. I don't think that Jed York has been as busy, but he's been extremely busy as well. And it's important to have a place where you can go, just take a breath for a little bit that's centrally located, since the traffic has obviously been a challenge around the city. So ahead of us is Nob Hill. This is the western end of the California Street cable car line. This is the less famous half of the California Street cable car line. We saw Jerry Jones's bus right, like, I think a block or two away from here on Van Ness the other night. And his bus has just been rolling around the city, taking him from restaurant to restaurant. Maybe he'll be up at the Fairmont. Jerry Jones could be staying at the Fairmont. That would be on brand.
On brand.
Yeah. But we can drive up the cable car tracks. People will get a kick out of this. We'll be right on the tracks, and we'll head up to the top. As far as the salary cap goes for the 49ers, it's a really, really interesting year for them because they ran some house cleaning last year. And I did this from Scotland. I gave you guys the big salary cap update that I think I'll have to push back out. It was a week ago already that we're sitting in Scotland. I was doing the Castle salary cap update. Doesn't time fly?
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I guess when the Super Bowl happens, everything just... We landed and we went, I did. I know you went home, but I went straight down to an event, and it's like been nonstop ever since we got back from our little mini vacation. But when I did that, it was...
It was a vacation. It wasn't a mini vacation.
But it was like 3 days. It was short, right? But I guess we travel quick, but it was a vacation. It was good.
We had to work around the Super Bowl schedule.
$57 million. I project that they've got 40 out of 53 roster spots filled right now. This is like on a projection level when you project at them building this roster moving forward. And that means that, you're going to have to add 13 more players, either through the draft or free agency, to fill out a 53. But it's going to take more than that because guys are going to get hurt, right? Here comes our first cable car on the way down. So this guy's already climbed up California to make it to the top of Nob Hill. Now he's coming back down. We're going the opposite way. We're climbing up. I've got to make this light. We got a nice little countdown here. 2, 1, yellow. Oh, yellow means speed up. Yes, it does. And we made it through. So we're almost at the top here of Nob Hill, and what we're going to do is we're going to swing by the Fairmont Hotel, and I think we're going to see a lot of black cars there. And here's Grace Cathedral, which I guess was it might be the site of the commissioners' party tonight.
I feel like we talk about Grace Cathedral every time we do a driving with David.
Yeah, because we drive. The last two we've driven this path. I wasn't planning to do this again, but with the Super Bowl going on, they even have some cones out. Like something crazy is gonna. This is the Masonic on the right. If we want to show the right, that's an iconic music venue, and I'm sure that somebody's going to be playing here tonight. Yeah, they already have special event parking charges going on here. And the commissioners' party, I believe, is up here, either at the cathedral or and probably not in the Pacific Union Club.
Dog in his jammies.
That dog has a literal shirt.
A little sweater.
You got to talk louder. People aren't going to hear you.
Sorry.
We got to get you a mic too, if you're going to be talking like that, so they can hear you. You can see the Bay Bridge out in front of us. And the Fairmont as well. As soon as we get this green light, we'll be in the clear. It'll be really good. What else do we have football-wise? Australia. Oh my God. I'm already looking at flights, but I need to know the date of the game. That would help. 15 and a half hours. Maybe 16, depending on the wind.
I'm just banking on a pit stop in Hawaii.
I was talking to some NFL people, and they think that the game is going to be stopped. They're sure the game is going to be sold out. And the Australia people, in the comment section seem to agree. I guess they just love an event in Australia. Look, here we go. Fairmont coming up. We're going to make this light. I see a few black cars already. Oh my God, they're everywhere.
It's like the breeding ground.
Oh my God. Okay, so this survived the 1906 earthquake.
They're like double parked on each other.
Cars everywhere.
Look to the left. They're double parked everywhere.
And then look to the right too. I mean, it would be awesome if we got all these black cars and then Jerry Jones's bus, and that would be the site of the Super Bowl. Yeah, so This is the Super Bowl. I think that illustrated it very well for you guys. We're on the corner of Mason and Sacramento. We're going to let this guy cross. If you look straight ahead, you could see down to the water. That's Angel Island ahead of us. And if you look to the right really briefly here, Margot. Oh, you're looking at dogs. Okay, fine. That direction was downtown where it's way too crowded, so we're not going to worry about that. But we're just going to follow the cable car tracks, and we're going to go by Margot's favorite San Francisco intersection from, what is it, the Princess Diaries?
Yes.
Yeah. Remember, Nob Hill, there's a lot of roads that do not have stop signs for cross traffic. You got to be careful, including the cable car roads.
Oh, nice.
What'd you get? What'd you get? You said nice?
I just was talking about the cable car tracks.
Oh.
They don't stop.
Yeah, so if you could see the cable car tracks right here, and I just got to be careful as I cross. They go all the way down to Powell, and then they turn. This is the cable car barn or the cable car museum.
Rick, sorry, I'm trying not to give people
motion sickness.
Motion sickness, yeah, I'm getting motion sickness.
And then you got those planes that are flying over constantly, straight ahead.
Yes.
That have banners.
What's this to the right?
And you've got probably another coffee shop, or are they waiting outside of it?
A Bacchus Row.
I don't know. People can't hear you though.
A Bacchus Row.
Bacchus Row. Abacus.
We'd say abacus.
It's
Tennessee.
No, it's abacus, like the old calculator. It's a jewelry store, I guess.
No, there's.
It says jewelry and goods.
Okay, I guess you're right.
And then it has some Chinese characters. Got another cable car street here. I'll wrap this up with the Mac Jones stuff that we talked about earlier today. We could talk about the 49ers will be interested in trading for Maxx Crosby. Then Mac and Max sounds rather similar. But will they be interested in trading away Mac Jones? And I think that it's going to require a very, very hefty trade return for the 49ers to even consider that for Mac Jones. I think that they're pushing a lot in for 2026. I think that it's one of those seasons where, you're building now. You cleared out some of the financial inconsistency and inefficiency in 2025. So you're looking to add, and if you're looking to add a Maxx Crosby or a player like that, we got so many cool churches on this. And this is your intersection from Princess Diaries where they had the cable car accident, by the way. But if when you're looking to add,
we're gonna get one.
Yeah, we're gonna get a great cable car here, American flags and everything coming up over the hill. That's the iconic, right? And when it comes up the crest, over the crest of the hill.
Yeah.
Look, Seahawks fans on that one.
I've seen so many Patriots fans
this
week and just not a ton of Seahawks
I've seen many more Patriots fans than Seahawks fans. You're absolutely right about that. Just the Mason cable car line. But when you're looking to add, like a Crosby, and try to fill out this roster to push it into true Super Bowl contention following all those injuries in 2025, looking down Green Street, good job. I love it. Yep, North Beach. Shit, you know your way around now. You could even see Alcatraz over there in the distance.
Pre-game show.
Oh my God, Kyle Shanahan and Fred Warner are going to do part of the pregame show from Alcatraz.
Is that a rumor? Is that confirmed?
No, that's confirmed. Tony Dungy confirmed it today. Tony Dungy we talked about him earlier in the show.
Can you even land a helicopter on Alcatraz, or do you have to take a...
And I'm assuming it'll be a helicopter thing, because I don't know if they'll have time to get on a boat to get back to the city and then drive down. I think it'll be special permission helicopter Alcatraz down to Santa Clara. I would hope that's the case. I think that would be amazing content, and I would hope that they would be like live using their Starlink from the helicopter. I mean, if I could do it, I was live from a seaplane above San Francisco. Why couldn't NBC do it?
These are the best dogs ever.
I like how that girl just did not care that we had a green light. Just trudged in front of us. We made it to Columbus. We're good. All right, time to wrap it up. But my main point, and I was trying to get to this, but if the 49ers are in addition mode, then it's going to be hard to convince them to subtract, right? So I think they're going to want Mac Jones and somebody like Maxx Crosby on this team if they could get him. And of course, there's the famous Drake May sign. The Patriots love that slogan, by the way. But it's over on LaRocco's Corner. I can move up a little bit further. That's a great bar. Great guys run that place. LaRocco's Corner in North Beach. Hope you enjoyed this pre-Super Bowl drive through town. You could feel the buzz. You really can. Look, one of the many Patriots fans. Oh, right there with that Patriots starter jacket. 49ers can hope that the Patriots win tomorrow. Everybody, thanks for watching. Take care.